I did not forget about the articles that I read from the city.nyc in Hudson River Blue. And speaking of the city doesn't get enough credit for covering New York City Football Club. They actually do a good job. And besides Hudson River Blue and the outfield, the city also does a good job. So NYCFC, I just want to say you really got a good you got some good independent journalists that really cares. And New York City, I think that you should consider, having form some kind of relationship with these three independent journalist sources, if you haven't done so already. The New York Post, whenever the New York Post wants to write an article about NYCFC, they just go to one of those three websites. They either go to Hudson River Blue or the outfield.substack, or they go to the city.nyc. Those major media outlets like New York Post and New York Times, they don't get information about you based on their own research. They just plagiarize from Hudson River Blue, the outfield, and the city. So I just wanted to put that out there if you haven't done so already. Form a good relationship with those guys, because people like me, when it comes to NYCFC, that's how I get my information. So, the elephant in the room, the New York Mets. I thought long and hard of what I had to say, because I'm starting to realize that I gotta be a little more wise with my choice of words when it comes to certain organizations and certain people and certain teams. It's just the right thing to do. City Football Group, New York City Football Club, Abu Dhabi Royal Family, Etihad Airways. Construction on this stadium must start next year. The same pressure that we're putting on San Jose Earthquakes to make the playoffs and to stop being mediocre in the Bay, we're getting ready to put that same pressure on you, NYC, to get this job done. You heard what the mayor said, Mayor Eric Adams, in 2022 at the town hall meeting when he announced about the stadium. He said he's a guy that gets the job done. New York City Football Club, the expectation is for you to get this damn job done. And you can't allow some baseball club that can't beat the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, I said it. A baseball club that's not even better than the Philadelphia Phillies. A baseball club that's not even better than the Washington Nationals. A baseball club that better thank the sports gods that if the Tampa Bay Rays was in the NL East instead of the Miami Marlins, the Mets will be the worst team historically in the National League East. The only thing that's saving the Mets is the fact that one of those AL East teams has not swapped with the Miami Marlins to bring some form of balance between the NL East and the AL East. That's the only thing that's saving the Mets. New York City Football Group, Abu Dhabi Royal Family. You see, you're over there in the Middle East, so you probably don't know much about what's going on and why the New York Mets is acting like this. Well, let me tell you something, Abu Dhabi Royal Family. Major League Baseball does not want to share the summertime spotlight with Major League Soccer. We saw with that guy, David Sampson, who got fired by Derek Jeter. We saw the campaign that he tried to make to prevent David Beckham to get a stadium in Miami. Major League Baseball have dominated the American sports scene in the summertime for centuries. Not decades, but for centuries. And now you got a new player on the scene, similar to the CCL. The Mexicans have dominated that competition for long. And now you had a new player in MLS come to say there's a new sheriff in town. The same thing is going on in America with MLS in the summertime sports scene. Major League Baseball does not want to share the stage with MLS. You think Major League Baseball is happy about MLS having an Apple TV deal when they got the Apple TV deal before them? They're like, damn, they get an Apple TV deal too? They're already playing the summertime the same time as we do. And now they're getting an Apple TV deal just like us? What the hell? That's what Major League Baseball is doing. I mean, that was what Major League Baseball is saying. And so when it comes to the New York Mets, they don't want to share the entertainment stage in Queens. They want to keep Queens to themselves. And with a pro soccer stadium right across the street from them, now the pressure for them to perform well and to stop losing to the Braves every year increases. The pressure for them to no longer be mediocre in the National League East increases because if they don't perform well, they will lose fans to NYCFC right across the street in Willets Point. This ain't about no damn casino. This man, Cohen, has been trying to get a damn casino for the past 10 years, and politicians kept telling him, hell no, get the hell out of our office. That's what they've been telling him. This ain't about no damn casino. He knows he's not getting a damn casino. The main thing is fear, NYCFC. He's afraid. He's afraid that he's going to lose fans. There's no doubt in my mind that when the Queens Cathedral is complete in 2027, there will be some times where both the Mets and NYCFC have home games at the same time. It's inevitable. Both MLS and MLB play at the same time during the same months on the same days. When there's an MLS game on Wednesday, there's an MLB game on Wednesday. When there's an MLS game on Saturday, there's an MLB game on Saturday. You know, I've been wondering, why is Fox's coverage of MLS so below average? Why Fox's coverage of MLS is not as high-spirited as Major League Baseball? Well, I just said the answer. Major League Baseball. You see, Major League Baseball is working behind the scenes to make sure that you don't surpass them. NHL is not worried about you, MLS, because when your season starts, the Stanley Cup playoffs is going on. So as a result of that, the Stanley Cup playoffs will always be more popular than Major League Soccer regular season at the moment. It's going to be like that, at least for the next 20 to 30 years. So NHL is not worried about you. But Major League Baseball, they don't have a playoffs around this time. Their regular season takes place the same time as your regular season MLS. The NBA, they're not worried about you either because similar to NHL, NBA playoffs takes place during MLS regular season. And like NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs will always be more popular than MLS regular season. So this situation with the Mets, and it comes to parking, this is not about a damn casino because the Mets know they're not getting a damn casino. They know they can't even step foot to any senator's office and talk about a damn casino. They're going to tell them to get the hell out of town. They're going to say, get the hell out of my office. We ain't give you no damn casino. This is a power struggle. And this is something that you need to realize, NYCFC. This is a power struggle. The Mets are no longer your friend. They just gave you a friendly gesture because, they're just being nice. They don't want you to be homeless. They're just being nice. NYCFC, if I'm you, I'm treating this season as my last time ever playing any game at Citi Field because the relationship is dead. The Mets have shown you their true colors. The Mets have shown you they're not on your side. The Mets have shown you that they're not interested in helping you grow because the Mets know that your progression will lead to their digression because the Mets have always been mediocre in the NL East compared to the Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Washington Nationals, and they better thank the sports god that the Tampa Bay Rays are not in the NL East. That is the Marlins that's in the NL East instead of the Tampa Bay Rays. They better thank God that the Baltimore Orioles are not in the NL East instead of the Marlins. Granted, there are some rumors about MLB potentially swapping some teams in the division, but I'm not going to get too much into that because I'm not really a baseball expert when it comes to how that business operates. NYCFC, before I close, I'm going to give you this message. It's about walking in faith and not by sight. This is not a religious message. This is a real message that you can apply in real life. You see, it's an art. Yeah, take this as an art, similar to the art of short-term memory. In the art of short-term memory, you're quickly finding solutions to your problems so you won't dwell on your mistakes, which will lead to bad habits. So the art of walking in faith and not by sight is you working to achieve your goal until you actually see it. You don't currently see it right now, but you're working to get to the point where you will actually see it. And once you see it, it will come from the result of you working. That's what walking by faith and not by sight is. The art of walking by faith and not by sight enables you to not be affected by crabs in a barrel. The Mets has always been average. They've always been mediocre. And they want you to stay down with them. The Mets is a crab in a barrel. And you got to stab that crab to death. Figuratively speaking. So NYCFC, this is how we are going to talk. From today, moving forward, this is how we're going to talk. Brad Sims, Abu Dhabi Royal Family, City Football Group. This is how we're going to talk. Construction will start in 2024. I don't know when in 2024. I still believe summertime. Construction will start in 2024. And if I was you, instead of having this stadium completed in 2027, I will have this stadium completed in 2026, right in time for the FIFA World Cup, just so I can stick a middle finger up to the Mets across the street. That's what I would do if I was you. I'll say, "Oh, you trying to slow down my process? You trying to prevent me from getting the stadium?" Okay, I once planned on this stadium to be completed in 2027, just to not rush the process. But since you want to act like an asshole, New York Mets, I'm going to complete this stadium in 2026, just so I can stick a middle finger up across the street to you for trying to destroy my plans. That's what I would do if I was you. So this is how we're going to talk. Again, construction will start in 2024. And this stadium, the job is going to be done before MLS season starts in 2027. Before winter 2027. Or before February or March, whenever the MLS season starts in 2027. Before 2027. Before St. Patrick's Day 2027. Somewhere between January 2026 and March 2027, this stadium will be complete. That is how we're going to talk. You know, I read the city, they said that the parking lot that's in dispute between you and the Mets is owned by Parkland, is owned by the state. So I'm assuming that you wanted an agreement with the Mets just for, I guess, just to avoid potential conflict, to avoid conflict of interest. But the Mets, no, the Mets don't want to avoid conflict of interest. They want conflict. They're a crab in the barrel, and they want you to stay down. They want you to stay homeless. They want you to stay homeless. Because they're thinking, how can a team that we used to lease a house to, how all of a sudden they're more popular than us? How all of a sudden they're richer than us? How all of a sudden they're the face of Queens, and we've been in Queens way longer than them? The Mets don't want that to happen. So instead of them focusing on how they can finally become better than the Atlanta Braves, how they can finally be better than the Philadelphia Phillies, how they can finally be better than the Washington Nationals, they're focusing on you. That's how you know that they're not serious about their sport. And that's how you know they're just in it for power. They want to be the sole sports face of Queens. So NYCFC, don't you dare let them slow down your mojo. NYCFC, if this stadium is not completed before the start of the 2027 MLS season, I'm going to lose respect for you forever. And I'm highly going to suggest that this team gets sold to somebody else who's serious. If you renege on your word about this stadium being completed in 2027, I'm going to lose the utmost respect for CFG. I'm going to lose respect for you, Abu Dhabi royal family. I'm going to lose respect for you, Brad Sims. Don't let them win. This is a power struggle. This is not about no damn casino, NYCFC. This is about power. This is about popularity. This is about who is going to be the ultimate sports face of Queens. And the Mets don't want it to be you. So you keep walking, you keep fighting a good fight of fate, and you walk by faith and not by sight, so you can get that job done.
Used to take shit to heart, nowadays real heartless. All my blood, sweat, and tears, you can see that shit dripping from the gauntlet. Used to take shit to heart, nowadays real heartless.